Jeff St. Laurent here, and I help coaches transition to a full-time business. One of my mentor coaching clients I was just on the phone with, and we're helping him set up his first paid 4-week course. And he's in the marketing phase right now where he's hustling and grinding, as I would call it, to fill the seats and get some people signed up for this program. And we were talking through some specific strategies, and this is his first one, and he's doing a great job. But I was talking about like the realities of what we've got to do. And I said, what I'm teaching you is no different at any level, whatever level you play at, right? Whether we're starting off or we're somewhere along the line, all the way up to, $500,000, $1 million of revenue, $1 million to $3 million in revenue, and people that are doing billions of dollars in revenue in this type of a business. There's a hustle and a grind. The difference is they're not just doing it all themselves like you and I would be. So literally I told them, I'm like, just before I got on the call with you, I got a call, like literally on my cell phone. I got a call from someone in Grant Cardone's organization. I don't know if you know him or not, but he does stuff with real estate. He's all over Facebook, any ads, like anywhere you're going to find Grant Cardone. And he's all about, he just had his 10X summit last week, whatever. And I was there and I saw the feed come across, and I know the guy in terms of, what I've seen from him, he's whatever you think of him regardless. And I'm just like, should I sign up for this? I'm like, it looks like he had some good speakers. So of course I entered my name and email, blah, blah, blah. And then like literally for the next 4 days, because he had the event going on, like my phone was blowing up. Like literally every hour I was getting texts and emails. Hey, new speakers coming to the stage. And then since then I've been getting, bombarded with emails. And just before that call with my client, a guy from Grant's organization called me, a salesperson. And he's like, hey, Jeff St. Laurent. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, tell me about how you want to grow your business and how you want to 10X yourself. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, who is this? He's like, oh, this is so-and-so from Grant Cardone's organization, right? And this guy was selling me hard, right? I'm not saying this is not what I'm saying we've got to do. What I'm saying is this, I'm just sharing this story, right? This guy was selling me hard, and I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm very happy with what I'm doing. And he's like, are you kidding me? He's like, don't you want to be on stage with Grant Cardone? And I'm like, actually, no, I don't. And so it's just, and then I ended up hanging up on him. Right. My message here is not, I don't want you to be like that. What I'm saying is that here's a guy like Grant Cardone, who's, I don't know what his revenue is. It's ridiculous, right? But he did this 10X conference and had, hundreds of $1,000 probably a day in ad spend, hundreds of thousands of people signing up for this event. I was just another name and email and a phone number on the list. And someone freaking called me to try and sell me their 10X system, whatever it was. I didn't even get that far with him. What I'm saying is that dude's grinding. That's what impressed me. I didn't with a cold call, whatever. I probably wouldn't have even answered, but I had a few seconds. I'm like, oh, who's this? And I answered the call, right? But the point is that dude's grinding. And you know what? At his level, that's what you do. He's not on the phone grinding. He's got teams and teams of people that are calling these hundreds of thousands of people, because they know if they call these hundreds of thousands of people, they get people like me that aren't interested and hang up on them. But they're also going to get hundreds of thousands of people that are like, wow, this is really cool. And then sign up and create more and more revenue. And I've seen this and with speakers I've shared the stage with over the years, and people that are doing, just simple multiple six figures, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, people that are $500,000 to $1 million, coaches that were in the $2 to $3 million mark and plus that. And you know what? These people, when they ran events, when they had programs that they were offering, whether it's webinars, things like that, you know what? At different levels, they had teams of people, maybe not as big as this guy Grant's, right? But they had a team of 3 or 4 or 5 people, calling people, putting people in the seats. That's the work as an entrepreneur. The difference is at the level, when you're starting off through maybe even, a couple $100,000, you could do that yourself, right? Then you get to, $250,000 to $500,000. Now you're talking, unless your prices are that much higher, and you could service that yourself. But at that point, now you've got a team member, team members, maybe a virtual assistant or two, kind of doing some of that stuff with you and for you to get you to that space. But no matter who, it's the same at any level. That's the point and this hustle and this grind of getting on the phone, texting people, private messaging people, making invitations, making offers, putting stuff out there, opening up conversations. That's a huge piece of our success in this game. And it's not hard selling. We don't have to do that. It's just developing relationships with people, fostering relationships with people. When you get to a larger level like that, right? I mean, you can only spend so much time with people. That's how it works. But at this level, it's just now's your time to start fostering and nurturing relationships. Show people that you care. Show people that you can help them. Find and identify the people that are struggling with something and invite them to something and say, listen, I can't help but notice or hear or observe that you're having a hard time with something, with whatever it is. Would you be open to taking a closer look at how I could help you if you were to work with me as your coach? And they might not be interested. They might join witness protection and you never see them again. But the reality is that our work is this, and this might not be for you. This might not be for you. And that's okay. That's okay. I just want to present you with the realities of the work. And I know it's a detail, right? But you can get a snapshot of that. And what I do with people is I help my students learn to love that work, because I didn't know that work when I started this business 20 years ago in 2004. And I got to start to understand it. And I didn't like it at first, but I realized if I really wanted to do this coaching thing, which I was uber passionate about, still am, if you can't tell. But in order for me to do this successfully, is I had to not only learn to do the work, learn the skills of presenting and selling, but not only learn them and begin to master them, but I had to learn to love them. I wanted to learn to love them. And now I love them. And now I teach them. And so that's my message to you. Hopefully you found this helpful. Write in the comments what you received from this, or if you're in a position where you want to do the hustle and you need some help. I wrote this in the comments. Go to my website, sellingcoaching.com, fill out the form at the bottom of the work with me page, and let's create a relaxed conversation and let's decide where we can go from there. Until then, do the hustle and enjoy it.